Experts are urging sheep producers to use a qualified professional to identify and treat foot rot to avoid wasting time and resources with an incorrect diagnosis or treatment plan. Vets John Webb-Ware and Pat Kluver are training contractors to help sheep producers control this devastating disease in the most cost-effective manner. Through a collaboration between the McKinnon Project at Melbourne University and the Livestock Biosecurity Network, together with the Livestock Contractors Association and GoTAFE.
We run training courses for foot rot contractors, both to update existing contractors on the latest innovations and information, and also to train new contractors which are just getting into the game. Foot rot has a spectrum of virulence from benign to virulent, and it's really the virulent strains which we're concerned about, which cause economic loss to production losses and also restricts trade and also affects the welfare of sheep.
Dr. Webb-Ware says before undertaking an eradication program, it's vital to get prompt expert advice to identify the strain to ensure a high chance of success.
But what's really important to recognise in the early stages, they can look fairly similar, so it can take quite some time to repeated inspections to confirm that the diagnosis is benign. Now, in my experience, the more virulent strains are easier to recognise given suitable environmental conditions, and also assuming that the lesions haven't been masked to some degree by foot bathing. So it can take some time with the lower grade strains to confirm what you're dealing with.
The next step in responding to a foot rot incursion is to prevent its spread.
First thing is to make sure your fences are 100% stock proof, because you don't want to infect neighbours' sheep, and likewise if you do eradication in an eradication program, you don't want to get reinfected from neighbouring properties.
LBN's Dr. Pat Kluver says foot rot is predominantly spread through purchase of sheep or sheep coming onto a property through fences, so it's essential to have biosecurity steps in place to prevent the introduction of foot rot in the first place.
I think if you break down biosecurity into 3 steps when purchasing sheep. So there's pre-purchase, that's all your due diligence, sheep health statement, inspect the sheep or get someone to inspect them for you. 2, farm gate, and for foot rot that's going to be a zinc sulphate foot bath. And 3, on farm, keeping them in quarantine and separate from sheep until you're sure they haven't got foot rot, which is a foot rot spread period from southeast Australia would be end of spring.
Dr. Kluver says that above all, it's better to be safe than sorry in responding to any signs of foot rot.
The most important thing is if you suspect you've got lame sheep and you're not sure what's wrong with them, make sure you get it checked out by someone who knows what they're doing. So an experienced sheep veterinarian or an animal health advisor who has experience in that area. Although it's possible to eradicate foot rot yourself, it is something which is, one, quite hard to do. It's expensive if you do it yourself, even if you're not counting your labour, and the chances of success are much higher if you use someone who's experienced, who's done it before.
More information is available on the LBN website at www.lbn.org.au.